We're going to try to remove these scratches right here. You can see where the windshield wipers scratched into the glass right there. It's easiest to see right there on the black, but it goes all the way up and across in front of the driver, and kind of assuming that the wipers fell apart or something got under there, but it scratched the glass. So we're going to try to polish the glass out. Okay, we're going to try to get these scratches from the windshield wiper off of this car. I cleaned the glass already, but we'll do it again just to make sure there's no grit or grime. What we do is we take a little bit of this paste, a little lady. This is just water I have. You can see it just turns it into a slurry, which is sort of like rubbing compound. I have a buffing pad, and I attach it to the drill. And apply a little bit. I'm just going to try a little bit down here where it's really bad. I don't want the powder to dry out too much. Look what it looks like under there. Now the deep scratches are a little bit less. I think I'm going to work my way up the windshield now. Right. It's getting better. It's harder for me to tell where it's actually a scratch. It's drying out. Much better. So you can't hardly see them. So it's getting better, just depends on how long you want to keep going at it. Well, after a few minutes of polishing and buffing on it, I could just barely see. I'm like staring right at it, and I could just barely see where it was. You know, where I guess the wiper reverse position has some deeper gouges here. And I stopped because it was starting to heat up the glass. I make sure I'm not going to get the glass too hot. And it's very light. There's a little bit right there. I can still see most of this midsection. The other thing is, once you're starting to use your wipers, you know, there's always a smear here or there. But this was like a whole line of scratches across here, even after I really scrubbed the windshield, and it just wouldn't go away. So there's a little bit right here, and it's, you know, it's still pretty warm, so I wanted to let it cool back off. You don't want to heat the glass up too hot, and it can mess up the glass. But, you know, and just this windshield is a 10-year-old windshield, so just over 10 years, just the road grime and grit that got on there is like little hairline scrapes on it. So, you know, if I did the whole windshield, I might be able to get it back looking like a new windshield, but if it really bothers you, you just have to get your windshield replaced. But this was just in the line of sight of the driver, so I'm trying to get it. Mainly right here where the driver sees out is what I'm worried about. Over there where the windshield wiper parks, I'm not so worried about it. So I might do a little bit more on right in front of the driver here. After doing the windshield, I could really tell it's much smoother. There's like a layer of grime where I haven't been polishing, and this is a good idea for any old windshield to just polish the whole windshield. You know, I'm trying to get the part where you visibly look out for the driver, but these deep scratches down here, but they're right where the wiper blade sits, so it's not too critical. But I could feel the difference up here where I could actually hear it. Kind of sounds like sandpaper, and here it's smooth. It's actually a difference between where the wipers have been scraping it and up here. So I may hit up here just a little bit with the polisher while I have it out. So this area over here where the windshield wiper wasn't hitting it with this polish got the layer of scum and grime off of it, and now, yeah, it's nice and smooth, and it blends in right with where I've been polishing over here where the wipers were scraping. So, you know, this is nice and smooth, and it's much better than it was. I could keep polishing and polishing and maybe get rid of it totally, but realistically, this is a 10-year-old commuter car, so you got to figure out whether it's worth your time or not. But this has gotten rid of a lot of this scrape. Okay, I'll try to show it. It was so hard to see before that I could see, like right here is where it was starting, and you could still see hairline scratches. Let's see if I can get them on camera. There's a few hairline scratches right there, and you know, it would go basically across here and down. So most of these are nearly invisible. And on this side, you know, where we were able to see it pretty good in the black reflection, you can still see the scrape right here, but this is where the windshield wiper sits. And this is where it was, you know, flip-flopping when it would go back and forth. So there's a lot of deep scratches there. But then it would go up this direction. And I could still just barely make out where it was going. But as you can see, it's like very faint. So I think that turned out to be a good job. This is just a little polishing kit with this. I'll try to put it in the title. It's the type of powder. It's like silica or something like that. A couple little buffing pads, a little Velcro pad to mount in your drill, and this is, you know, the other buffing pad. A couple of round, you know, for tight corners. Like if you're going to get in this tight little corner here, you might use the these little ones. And for more aggressive scratches, these are actually sanding pads. I mean, these are like sandpaper. And you know, starts out with like 600 and goes up. You know, you don't want to start anything below like 300 or 600 grit, and that's for some really aggressive stuff. All right, so that's it for polishing the windshield. Okay, this is a 10-year-old car, and I'll try to get it on the camera here. I don't know if you can see the scratches and just the haziness of the headlights. And over here on this one, let's see if you get the scratches and haziness, and we're gonna try to buff these out instead of putting new headlights in. So we'll try that. Okay, so from about here over is where I was polishing. You can see a difference, and then over here to the left, it's still kind of, it sounds like sandpaper. So it's much smoother, and you can still see the deep gouges, but these are 10-year-old headlights, so you know, it's much better and clearer. So I'm going to keep going on it. So when looking at this, what it looks like after the polishing, you know, you can really see the headlight in there now. And then comparing it to what, you know, that was what it looked like before. Pretty hazy. And so this should actually help with your nighttime driving, your headlights. Okay. So remember, this is just a commuter car. It's not like a show car. So much better than before. Some of that's reflection. And on this side, so you can see that both sides cleaned up nicely. You can easily see the actual headlight bulb in there. Got rid of a lot of the haze. So probably 30 minutes of polishing, and not bad. Okay, to reset the oil change, key in the ignition, hold the 00, turn the key on, and then push this button on the left and it'll reset. So now it's set to 10,000 miles for our oil change. Let's show you. So when you push this little button over here on the left, the center of the display will cycle through. Push it once, 2, 3. The bottom, the wrench thing, is oil change. It's 10,000 miles. So that's how you do it.